do you define a good employee? Is it someone who shows up on time and does what they're told? Or are you like me and you define a good employee as someone who cares deeply about producing quality work, someone who is invested in the company's mission and vision, and who you can count on to always act with integrity? Whatever your definition of a good employee, chances are we can all agree that we want to hire talented and motivated employees. But what exactly defines a talented employee versus a non-talented employee? And what do we need to do to make sure that the candidate sitting in front of us is the talent that we need? In this video, I'm going to share my 4 tips for identifying talent during the interview process. Stick with me. Before we dig in, hello, my name is Vanessa, and I've been a recruiter for over 15 years in the real estate space. And on this channel, we focus on fostering careers in real estate and growing real estate teams, and that includes managing the hiring process. So if this is a topic that interests you, please consider subscribing. Now, before we can talk about identifying talented employees, we need to figure out what exactly talent is. Talent is a mix of learned skills, natural abilities, and intrinsic motivation. Talent shines brightest when they are in an environment that utilizes their natural skills and abilities and provides opportunities for autonomy, mastery, and purpose. No one is talented in all things and in all environments. We are all good at some things and not in others, which is why it's important to figure out whether the person sitting in front of you is the right type of talent for you. Here are a list of clues you can look for to figure out if your current team is talent or non-talent. Non-talent needs to be pushed to want answers. They're the ones who come to you with questions and haven't done any research in advance. They're unable to do the job and they end up giving work back to you. They don't know what they want and they're not searching to find answers. They require you to push them. They're reactive. They're order takers. They have low standards and they do the bare minimum just to get by. They don't take responsibility for their actions or behaviors. They don't talk about anything of value. And when they do try to speak like they're talented, they're just, it's all words and no substance. And finally, they take energy. Now let's talk about talented people. So talented people bring solutions to you before you even knew that you had a problem. These are your proactive problem solvers. They share your goals and they fulfill your needs as a natural byproduct of fulfilling their own. They know exactly what they want, or they're actively searching for it, and they're taking action toward their goals. They push you, they challenge you, they might even tick you off. They have high standards, they're high performers, they're constantly raising the bar, and they want to be associated with talent. They're accountable and they own their role. Their speech focuses on language of challenge and achievement, and we'll talk about more about this in a minute. And finally, they give energy. All right, great. So we know what talent is and what it isn't. How do we find these people? Before you can find this talented employee, you have to know exactly what you're looking for. And this is easier said than done. So before you start your search, make sure that you slow down and you take time to really figure out what are the learned skills and natural abilities that are required for success in this role. Often we throw a whole bunch of things that sound good that we'd like to have into our mix of requirements, but that muddies the water. Let's focus on the things that really matter and are real drivers of success in a role. Next, we have to ask the right questions. Now, in our interview process that we teach at Higher Lab and Pro REA Staffing, our first interview is an informational phone interview. We're on a topical level verifying that someone has the skills and abilities and background to do the job. The next step is a chronological interview. And this simply means that we take their resume, we start at the bottom at their oldest job, and we ask a series of questions for each job on their resume so that we learn more about their career path and we learn a lot about their motivation and their skills. So we ask the same 5 questions for every single job. The first question, why did you take that job? What you're listening for here is, do they know what they want? Did they default into a job or did they purposely choose that job over another? Next, what were they hired to do? Sounds simple enough. Sometimes people have a hard time defining this. So what were they hired to do? Next question, what did they accomplish? Interestingly enough, sometimes what people say they accomplished has nothing to do with what they were hired to do. This can happen due to circumstance in one job, but if it becomes a pattern of behavior, for example, somebody is hired to be a transaction coordinator, but the thing that they keep accomplishing is implementing a social media program, it might be a clue that this person is pursuing jobs that don't really align with their skills and interests. Next, what was their biggest challenge in the role? Now, this is where we really get into the talent versus non talent language. Talented people talk about seeking out challenge and new opportunities. They talk about the project they tackled or the problem that they identified and solved. Non talent will often talk about things that happened to them, the coworker that made their life so difficult, the boss who didn't communicate clearly with them. Again, we're listening for patterns here. So if one job was just a bad fit, that's fine. But if you hear the same speech over and over again, that's a clue that you're talking to a non talented person. Finally, why did you leave? We want to know if this person was pulled forward, maybe they were recruited away, or their boss changed jobs and they went with them, or were they pushed out? Now, it's nobody's fault if somebody is laid off due to downsizing. It happens a lot. But if somebody has been laid off of every single job on their resume, you need to make sure that you verify those references and confirm that they were, in fact, laid off due to downsizing and weren't actually transitioned out. Next, you want to pay attention to their communication style. Talented people will speak with clarity and focus. If the person you're speaking to sounds frantic or low energy, they mumble or they use sloppy language, those are clues that this person is likely not the kind of talent you're looking for. And finally, make sure that you're offering an environment that will attract and keep talent. Remember earlier, we talked about talent needing an environment that offers autonomy, mastery, and purpose. This means no micromanagement. It means opportunities for growth. It means flexibility within their role so that they can take on additional projects. It means not stifling this incredible, talented person you convinced to join you on your mission on your team. And finally, going along with that, make sure to share your mission and vision with your candidate. Talented people want to put their energies toward work that has purpose. So make sure that you share that with them so that they can show up every day feeling purposeful in their work. If you follow these 4 steps, you will be well on your way to attracting and keeping the talented employees you need to continue to grow your business. If you'd like to get help mastering the hiring process and attracting the best talent for your team, then I want to encourage you to check out my online course called Hire Lab. For $249, the Hire Lab course guides you step by step through the hiring process. You'll learn how to set yourself up for success before you start your search. You'll learn in detail how to follow my 5-step interview process and how to onboard and train your new hire in their first 90 days. Thanks for watching. Up next, you might want to watch my video on how to train a virtual assistant or my interview with the amazing and talented executive assistant, Arlene Cristobal. We talk about building scalable systems and how to not be a micromanager. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.